there were more than 750 homicides in Chicago in 2020. That's 300 more than last year. Our next guests are literally risking their lives to help stop the violence in our communities. Joining us now, welcome the Executive Director of the Violence Interrupters, Tio Hardiman, and community activist Charles McKenzie. Hello to both of you.
How you doing, Ryan?
Hi.
Doing well. Tio, good to see you again. We've had you on the show before. We've had you on the show many, many years, right? And it just seems like the violence in our city never seems to improve. A, what needs to be done? B, how do you stay positive?
Well, first and foremost, on behalf of Violence Interrupters, my staff have mediated 65 conflicts in the year 2020, which could have turned deadly. We stopped it on the front end. That's number one. And number two, we have to continue to, work with these young high-risk individuals in the community and show them a different way, a different, change their mindset, in other words, because a lot of times people, on a scale from 1 to 10, on the anger zone, people are on 10 already. So any slight infraction would cause a person to want to take your life or harm you. So, it's very important. I've implemented a restorative justice practice within my program as well. We organize healing circles and peace circles, and we help young people understand how much it means to get through some of the trauma they've experienced, because hurt people hurt other people, Ryan.
Yeah, and Charles, you've been on the other side of this, right? I mean, you've been a guy that was causing problems on the street. Tell us a little bit about your story and how you turned it around.
I started off when I was 15 years old. Under the leadership of Tio Hardiman, I was out there creating the problems. Now, making a change and a difference. Tio took me under his wings. I got introduced to Tio when I was young, and he been a mentor ever since. Every time I used to get in trouble, Tio used to call me, "Hey, McKenzie, how you doing? What's going on?" And that kept me motivated and kept me doing what I was doing. And then they stopped the funding, and I kept continuing my journey, what I love doing. And one thing I loved about Tio, he kept calling me, making sure that I would stay out of trouble. And he made me the #1 canvas over 200 young guys when I was 15 years old. And that helped out a lot. And the young guys was wondering, like, how was I making money? And I just showed them, like I say, a guy named Tio gave me a job opportunity, and all the guys that I brought in, Tio was getting them jobs, and they kept us off the street from doing bad things in the community.
Yeah, do you think that people on the streets listen to you more because you've been there, you've done that, you've learned that's not the way to go?
Yes. I have a great relationship with the guys in the community, because one thing I was taught as a young man, your word is your bond. And Tio used to tell us all the time, if we want to be out here on the front line, we have to mean what we say and say what we mean. And that stood with me all the way until the age that I am today.
Yeah, and the work that you're doing is remarkable. There was a great documentary on Violence Interrupters a few years ago. I know, Tio, we talked to you about that as well, and it really documents what you do, and you get out there. You don't just talk about it, but you walk the walk. What needs to be done? Is the mayor listening to you? What needs to be done, Tio?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked that question. I would love to sit down and meet with Lori Lightfoot. I'm not looking for a job or a contract. I would like to share my perspective when it comes down to reducing gun violence in Chicago. I am the former director of Ceasefire, and I created Violence Interrupters back in 2004, incorporated Violence Interrupters in 2013, but I have a proven track record in the area of reducing gun violence in Chicago. So yeah, I would love to sit down and meet with the mayor. I've met with the superintendent one time already, but right now in Chicago, we need all hands on deck. Everybody needs to come to the table so we can work in our areas, so we can everybody can just do a little bit more now, because carjackings are up about triple fold in Chicago, shootings are up 50%, and throughout the nation, cities like Milwaukee, New York, Memphis, homicides up in St. Louis. So there's been an uptick in gun violence on a national level. But Violence Interrupters can get the job done, but it's also important to network with everybody. That's why I network with Charles McKenzie. I don't have time to name all the organizations here today, but I network with YCCS, that's Youth Connection Charter School, and I'm networking with different groups in the community so that we can all play a role, in other words. For example, out of the 65 conflicts we mediated, we're working with 80 high-risk individuals now. 30% of the individuals, we enroll them back in school. Another 30%, they have jobs now. The other 30%, basically, we refer them to social service agencies. That's where the network comes in at. And the other 10% of the guys, they're just in the middle right now to trying to get their thoughts together. But we have a proven track record. That's what I would like to talk to the mayor about. And then also we need a new, somewhat of a new strategy when it comes down to implementing more restorative justice practices here in Chicago.
Yeah, now, Tio, you've reached out to the mayor. Have you just not heard back?
I've reached out to the mayor on several occasions. I haven't heard back. I'm looking forward to meeting with her because I'm a resident of the South Side of Chicago, born and raised in Chicago. It's time to get the job done. You know, it's not just about me. I'm part of the solution, and I don't mind being a team player, but I don't play games when it comes to reducing gun violence. There's no way to stop a conflict without some form of a verbal confrontation or lightweight confrontation, because people play games, Ryan, all the time. Nobody's just putting their guns down that easy. It takes strategy and a training, and it takes the fortitude to go out there and work with your people. And my people know what I'm talking about. I can't say it all on Windy City Live, but it's a straightforward approach that I take, and we get results. Just put it like that. We get results, and I don't want to take up all the time. I know Charles is going to say a few more things as well, okay?
Yeah, we're actually out of time, but guys, it was important for me to have you on. Keep up the good work, and we need you more than ever in this city. So big thank you to Tio and to Charles. All right, to learn more about the Violence Interrupters and their peace initiative, head to violenceinterrupters.org. We'll be right back.